Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the world of golf and the Rocket Classic. But instead of just talking about the usual suspects, we're going to focus on some sleeper picks that could surprise you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sleeper picks? Isn't that just a fancy way of saying underdogs? Well, not exactly. It's more about finding those players who might not be getting the attention they deserve, but have the potential to make a big impact. And one of those players is Johnny Keefer. Now, you might not have heard of him, but let me tell you, he's got some serious talent. So, let's talk about why Keefer could be a dark horse at the Rocket Classic. First off, let's talk about his performance on the PGA Tour. Now, I know what you're thinking. PGA Tour? Isn't that a bit too high level for a sleeper pick? Well, not exactly. Keefer has been making waves on the Korn Ferry Tour, and his success there has translated to the PGA Tour. He's currently ranked 73rd in the FedExCup, which is pretty impressive for a rookie. Now, here's the thing. Despite only having 3 top 20 finishes in 22 starts, his odds at the Rocket Classic are plus 295. That's a pretty good value, especially considering his ball striking skills. Keefer is ranked 6th among his rookie peers in ball striking, which is a huge advantage on a classic track like Detroit Golf Club. And it's not just about ball striking. Keefer is also 10th in strokes gained, off the tee, 3rd in greens in regulation, and 7th in proximity to the hole. So, he's got a well-rounded game that could really shine on this course. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about his odds? They're not that great. Well, here's the thing. Keefer's odds might be shorter than anticipated, but that's because he's been gradually rising in the market. And with a new look and a classic track, his muscle off the tee is an edge that could make all the difference. So what does this mean for you, the viewer? Well, it means that Keefer could be a great value play at the Rocket Classic. He might not be a household name, but he has the talent and the potential to make a big impact. So, if you're looking for a sleeper pick, Johnny Keefer is definitely one to consider. Now, I know what you're thinking. But what about the other players mentioned in the article? Well, let's talk about them too. John Parry and John VanDerLaan are also worth mentioning, but they're not quite as sleeper-y as Keefer. Parry is the oldest PGA Tour rookie, and he's had some impressive finishes, including a T28 at the Open Championship. VanDerLaan, on the other hand, has been consistently strong on the Korn Ferry Tour and has translated that success to the PGA Tour. So, while they're not as much of a surprise, they're still worth keeping an eye on. In conclusion, the Rocket Classic is shaping up to be an exciting event, and with players like Johnny Keefer, John Parry, and John VanDerLaan, there's plenty of value to be found. So, if you're looking for a sleeper pick, be sure to keep an eye on these players. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.